Hey gang, I remember in the late 1980s seeing the great Robben Ford on David Letterman. He was just playing the blues, but I'd never heard anything like that at the time. It was a sweeter sound than I'd heard. I'm going to show you how just changing one single note can give you some of Robben's magic. Coming right up. I've got a small confession of sorts. I didn't learn the blues from the original masters like B.B. King and Albert King. Instead, I learned rock, and then I heard this guy called Robben Ford. He was amazing. His touch and his tone were great, and his note choices were different too. After that, I was totally hooked on all of the blues. I bought his album, Talk to Your Daughter. It has great songs like Help the Poor, and I especially dug Revelation. But I also bought his book, Playing the Blues. As you can see, I still have it. It was a great book for learning the blues. In the beginning of the book, Robben talks about the scales that he uses in his solos. The minor pentatonic, I knew that one. The blues scale, I knew that one too. And then he talked about a third scale that I'd never heard of, the minor pentatonic with an added sixth. Actually, it's just a minor pentatonic shown here, but then the flat 7 goes to the 6th instead. So it's still a pentatonic scale, 5 notes. Now Robben said he got it from listening to B.B. King. Wherever he got it, it sure sounded sweeter and airier than a minor pentatonic. Let me do a quick demo over an A7 chord vamp to show you how it sounds. So you see, it has a different sound than the minor pentatonic. A little jazzier perhaps, because it's related to the Dorian mode, although again, it's a pentatonic scale, only 5 notes, not 7, so it's a little airier, a little more open. Now of course you could play this in every minor pentatonic position. What I would recommend is that you just take a couple of hours and very slowly and deliberately go through each of the 5 minor pentatonic positions and note what is the one note that's changing, and let your fingers and the ears just slowly get used to it. For example, here we are in A blues. There's the regular minor pentatonic, and our flatted 7, which is a G, becomes an F sharp. So just play that through once or twice. And then just kind of let your fingers explore what are the ideas. Don't try and memorize this from some diagram in a book. Let your fingers and your ears do the work for you. Remember, you already know the minor pentatonic, so this is just a small change from that. And also, don't worry about hitting that flatted 7th once in a while, because that's a great note too. You're just adding a 6th into the mix. And believe me, you're going to find different licks that feel and sound right to you. It just takes a little bit of time. Once you're good with that, move on to the next position. So here we are in the 2nd minor pentatonic position. And here's what it is with the 6th instead of the flatted 7th. You'll just hear different licks. For example, here's the Layla lick. And here it is with the 6th instead of the 7th. It sounds a little different. And if you take your time, your ears will figure out those differences. And of course, you can combine scales too. The minor pentatonic still sounds fabulous. And that brings me to what I consider to be my first real blues solo. I extensively, not exclusively, used the minor pentatonic with the added 6th. And it's a real slow blues, so you can hear it throughout. So let me demo that. In a real blues context, you'll be able to hear the minor pentatonic with the added 6th. All right, just playing the blues. And you know, it's this sort of simple idea. Just adding one note, it can really add a lot of flavor to your play. Now, if you really want to spice things up with a super simple idea that doesn't take any theory, check out this video where I talk about an idea from the king himself. It's really going to accelerate your play. So click on this video and we'll see you on down the road.